つも君と待ち続けた季節は何も言わず通り過ぎた
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahna mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Dahnans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Dahnan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dahna's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dahna's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live, and I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dahna, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dahna, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dahna, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Dahnans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dahna peaceably. As the one and only blazing sword, I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Xion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dahna. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Xion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah, I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dahna's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world, and it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dahna's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorn's connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renas Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renas Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renas Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine, then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dahna's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dahna from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dahna's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe, and with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details, so assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dahna's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dahna's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dahna's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost needed to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dahna's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dahna's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dahna's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dahna's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dahna's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dahna's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dahna? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen, I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renas Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Heverick 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renas Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renas Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world, Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dahna is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
No, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renas Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renas Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule, but if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here.
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Try harder! The flame inside me cures!
Shield from calamity.
Okay, here I go. Ha! I'm not done! Not today!
Leave the enemy's art to me.
No complaints here.
Wind! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
You're just so hungry. Then tonight's meal is on you. Give up.
Elusive deity!
Ready to go.
Elusive deity! You're mine! Strike!
Crush! Take this!
That'll bring you down.
Try harder!
No! Radiant light!
Not done!
Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
I owe you one.
Is that a healing light?
It is. I can't ignore your pain. Not try to be more careful.
Whip it, Tom! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all.
Sword Line Alpha!
On your knees.
Take it! No escape!
Stay calm. I couldn't make it in time. From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life. Benediction light.
I owe you one. Sword Line Alpha!
Elusive deity! Evil ray!
I'm ready!
Get toasty.
Burn strike!
I'll heal you all.
Now this one's all mine!
Thunder shield.
Not today!
Sorry to healing circle. Radiant sweet now. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. Sighted.
Can you take it? Elusive deity!
Now. Astral energy.
Say no more! Shot!
Well done. One more.
I'm not done! I'm not done!
This one's mine. Shield. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Scream, bathe in
Now!
blood.
Rending you apart! Strike!
Bloody
Wuthering wind! Here I come! Move Longo!
Do it.
Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? He probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
I have a bad feeling about this. Here I go. And again, here.
This can't get out of this.
These ones can move around us.
No escape.
Lightning control.
Severing wind.
Thunder blade. Illuminate
Slide right into the deep. I'm not done. A wall to shield from calamity. Eat dirt. Barrier. Strike.
Annihilation.
Lunar Rondo.
Prepare to be sealed, though. Actually, bound is more appropriate.
Let's talk more doing.
Armor won't save you. Demon planet. Devastation. Everlasting darkness. Negative gate. Sword Rena. My sin.
This one's mine.
I'll face you. Severing wind. Sword Rena. I'm ready. In an instant. Impact cross. We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
This one's all mine.
Annihilation. Mega ray. Shiny. Annihilation. Mega ray.
You are fine.
those impressive skills.
Sure, I hope that isn't tricky.
No, I mean, Rena, I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahna, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Dahnans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Dahnans, but it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Dahnans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less work. More action. Concentrate.
I can shatter any steel.
We got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours. Short range alpha. Dragon swarm.
Hear my call.
Take it.
Position, precision, timing. All a perfect pair.
That's it?
Get out of
Nothing
this.
else to add?
You take meticulous care of your firearm. Reflect.
They smite with blackened blade.
Do it.
Raining slash.
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble. More Sukals?
Keep calm and take them down.
Resonate with the
Glacial spear. Here's the eagle.
Void flash. Hurricane thrust. Air pressure. Strike. Void flash.
Radiant pierce. Glacial spear. Here's eagle.
Sword Rain Alpha! Air pressure! Sword Rain Alpha!
Now! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
A scream.
More
Rising
Falcon! This one's all mine! Luna Rondo! You're mine! They smite with flashy blade! Ignite!
This one's mine!
Execution! On your knees! We did it!
In here!
Air pressure! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm in your debt.
Blow away! No further!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder! This one's all mine!
Here's evil!
Luna Rondo! Stardust! Air pressure! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Thank you for the healing, Overeen.
Our comrades need our ability to survive.
Right. No one's dying on our watch.
Sword Rain Alpha! More? Win!
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
My turn! Sword Rain Alpha! Catapult!
Mega Ray! Raging
Dynamic Rupture!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Magic is
Scream,
Breeze Lancer!
Now or never! Luna Rondo! Rising Falcon! On your win! Eater! Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Ringwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
More? No!
Certainly not.
No escape! Smash you!
Zero Flame!
Sword Rain Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha! Next! More? Air pressure!
What would I do without you?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Thrilling performance.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. More?
House this! Mega Ray! Dance to the wind! In here! This one's mine! Mega Ray!
Here I come!
Lunar Corruption!
Sword Rain Alpha!
By the power of
Red Flash! Might ignite!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
Now, each turn! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
A merry destruction.
There's still more to go!
Now, let loose! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
Smash you! Sword Rain Alpha! Strike! Here I come!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together, Alphen.
Burn it out! Sword Rain Alpha! Bloody howling! Summon wind! You're mine! Rising Temperature! Sword Rain Alpha!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Now I can let loose!
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
In here!
Severing wind!
Let's get you all back.
You're mine! Blow away! Sword Rain Alpha! Now see what I can do! It's on!
Glacial Spear!
Next more! Luna Rondo!
Nothing can by me!
Ready Flash!
More for the sun!
Right! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire! Not a chance! Stardust! Force Flash! Thank you! Strike! Luna Rondo! You picked the wrong fight! Sword Rain Alpha! Bloody hell!
Raging Star!
You're mine! Strike! Rising Falcon! Flew away! Razor Ray!
Sleep now!
Flew away!
Anything in order is all mine!
Sword
improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Shield from God.
These things really get on my nerves.
We got flyers!
I've got this work. Let a marksman handle it.
Win! All yours! Rising Falcon! This one's all mine! Not today! Sword Rain Alpha!
Mega Ray!
Take this! Megasonic Thrust! Come one, come all! Lunar Rondo!
Here goes!
Strike!
All disasters made well. Come forth!
Rising
Heroes of
Falcon!
Fury!
No escape! Soaring Delivering Wind! Lunar Rondo! Here I come! I'm not done! It's over! Take this! You're mine! Strike!
You all tucked away.
Dance on the wind! No escape!
In here!
Strike!
Radiant
Summon deity! Here I come!
Here I go!
Rising Falcon! Here I come! Severing Negative Gate! It's on! Dragon Swarm!
Into the shadows!
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Far enough! Here I come!
Radiant storm!
Rending you apart! Bloody holiday! It's over! You're mine!
Not much longer to go.
Come on! One final push!
Let's do this together, Alphen.
It's over! Rending you apart! Prepare to be seized! Take this! Strike! Resonate with you!
Frozen!
Hammer! Elusive deity! No escape! They smite with black blade! Here I come! Strike! Execution! I'm ready!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Radiant light! Searing flame! Reload! I'm out of ammo!
Take this! I'm not done! It's over!
Annihilation!
Sword Rain Alpha!
All disasters
Here I come! I'm not done! Here I come! I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle black.
Good advice for all of us, to be honest.
Damn it!
This one will be difficult to predict.
You're mine! forces will not serve you well here. The flame inside me need to be let free. Here I come! Too fast! Resonate, stand back. I'll trip it up. Eternal devastation! Okay, here I go. No escape! Slasher! Void blast! Slasher! Void blast! Lunar Rondo! I've used too much. Burn in hell! You're mine! Strike! Strike! You're mine! Win! Take this! No escape! Here I come! I'm not done! Severing wing! Take this! No escape! You're finished! You're this! Take this!
Can you take it? This one's mine! I'll be
In a
saving
bind?
this one! Raging Cascade!
Sword Rain Alpha!
And
Elusive deity!
You're mine! There with the others!
Sword Rain Alpha! Eternal now!
What?
Can you sword Rain Alpha? Elusive deity! The flame inside me yearns to be let
Do it!
free! Soaring down!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
You're finished!
Do it!
Void blast! Hey! Blow them away!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
You picked the wrong fight! Here I come! No escape! Severing wing! Void blast! Lunar Rondo!
Is this it? I couldn't make it in time.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with resuscitation! I owe you one. Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's a healing heart.
I'm not done! Severing wing! Here I come! Strike! Try harder! Now!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And probably to me! Can't get out of this! Rising Falcon!
This one's mine.
You're finished! Honor won't save you! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! I'm not done!
Astral Energy.
You're mine! Rising Falcon! Quit pushing yourself and get behind us!
I'll be right as rain in no time.
Behold! The Earth's pulse! Tectonic vision!
Glacial spear. Pierce
You're
evil.
mine! Strike! Captivity!
Eruption.
You're mine! Passing shot! It's over! Rising! Wasn't looking good! You're mine! Stay away. For my friends.
Further.
A new leaf.
Can't move. I'm giving you more than this.
No rest for the wicked.
Will this help?
Can you take it? I'm not beyond.
I won't give up.
It's over. Resuscitation. Strike.
That's gonna smart.
It's over. Here I come. No escape. Severing wind.
Arctic waterfall.
Rising falcon.
Freeze lancer.
Resonate in a vine. Take this. Sword lane alpha.
With the arm. Air blast. Like Astral Energy in the dark field.
Bloody howling.
On your knees.
You're mine. I'm not done.
Benediction light.
Severing wind. Here I come.
Benediction light.
Take this. Heal. I'm not done.
Being interrupted.
Here.
Resonate with the earth.
This'll come in
You're
handy.
mine. Severing wind. Here I come.
Everyone still doing all right?
Never mind us.
Regeneration.
You worry about you, Ren.
Right. I still got fight in me yet.
I'll face you.
Adversity is said to be the best
All
motivation.
mine. Resuscitation.
I hope this is just
You'll pay for that.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
This should do it.
Lunar corruption.
Take it.
I'll
Struck.
bring you back from
It's
death's
over.
abyss.
Here I come. Void blast.
Can't be happening.
The wicked.
Here I come.
Can you
Wind.
take it? From beyond, imbue this vanquished
Wind.
soul with life.
Take
Resuscitation.
it. Rising falcon. No escape. No
Benediction
escape.
light.
This one's all mine. Heal.
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends for, we depend on them.
You're right.
Strike.
I'll bear that in
No
mind.
escape. Sword lane alpha.
Still got some fight left in me.
Blew away. Catapult. You're mine.
Can't get out of this.
Strike. Strike. Catapult. My turn. I can do without this pain.
Force of regeneration.
Glacier regenerate.
Allow me to strike.
In your death, Dahna.
Then tonight's meal is on me.
Not much longer to go.
Come on.
One final push.
Let's do this together, Alphen. And that'll bring you down.
Force of regeneration.
Here I come. Burn in hell.
Shine. Radiant light. Force of regeneration. Regenerate.
You must be tired killing me. I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on us.
You're mine. Take this.
All disasters, glacial spear.
Sword lane alpha.
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
You're mine.
Begin.
It's over.
Prepare to be sealed.
Here I come. No escape! Take!
Forgive me. This is mine.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Take the...
With you. It's in your hands now.
More of that
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Sword Rain out!
I'll bring... If it's in the sky, it's mine.
I'm not done!
I'll bring you... back from death's abyss.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Resuscitation! Here's a healing arc.
Take this!
First aid!
Everlasting. Negative gate.
This should do it!
Air pressure. Rending you apart. Bloody hell.
Ready to go!
Strike!
Another incantation ruin.
You're
Prepare
mine!
to be sealed.
Slice!
Resuscitation!
I'm not done!
In a bind.
It's yours to be let free!
Resonate with the earth.
Here's evil!
Blood. Rending you
escape.
apart.
Not
If
today!
it's in the sky, it's mine!
Bloody strike!
Photon set!
No escape!
Negative gate.
Oh, violent dark
Running
wind!
flash!
Carve down through walls!
Take this! Strike!
They might
Rising Falcon! You're mine!
execution.
Strike!
Stalagmite.
I'm not done! No escape! Win!
Glacial spear! Pure evil!
Strike! Rising Falcon!
Forgive me.
Take this! Here I come!
I never miss! Raging storm!
You're finished!
Celestial
Take this!
aberration!
No escape! Rising Falcon! Win! No escape!
Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Sword Rain out!
Here I rage! I can handle it!
Win!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Take this!
Wind astral energy!
Rising
Blazer!
Falcon! Severing wind! Take this!
Raging cascade!
Here I come!
Dance in the
I'm
wind!
not done!
Air
Severing wind! This one's all mine! I'm not done! You're... Take this! I'm not done! It's over! Strike! I'm not done! Severing wind! Oh! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrect 35 about it sometime.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I've used too much.
Being interrupted. Here I come! No, stay away from my friends! Imbue this vengeful soul with life. Resuscitation. Damn it! Take this!
Another incantation ruined.
You're finished!
Take this! Here's evil!
Ignite and ghost shield! Cleansing you apart! Dragon form! Bloody howling! Sword Alpha!
Dragon sparkling stars of light! Rain down!
Bloody Sword Alpha! Struck! Can't move!
I couldn't make it in time.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Begin! You're mine! The tempest engulfs you! Rending you apart! Bloody howling! Negative gate! Can't get out of this! Don't leave! Blow them away!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
No cause shall break this
Can you take it?
You're mine!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
bad feeling about this.
Here's the evil. Sleep now. Freeze Lancer! Careful! It has some kind of camouflage.
Try harder! Not a chance! We'll blind you in the sun! Take this flash!
Reload! Lightning condense!
You're mine!
Here's your healing art! Illuminate the dark!
Save you!
First aid!
Negative gate! Nothing
Only
gets by me!
corruption! Lunar blast!
You're mine!
Back into the fray!
Rising Falcon!
Hold on to your arm!
It's over!
Here I come! Here's the evil!
Okay, here I go! Not today!
Get you all tucked away!
You're mine!
Here's a healing art!
No, this catapult!
Violent tornado! Magic is in!
I'm not done!
In here!
It's too much!
Don't give up! More with that hit, I'll bring you back from those raging cascade! Resuscitate here! Hear my call!
Not done yet! No escape!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
I'm not done!
Rain down and
Rising
fury
shattering
blast!
pieces!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Take this! No escape!
In there with you! I'll heal you all!
No rest for the Rising Falcon!
Here's a healing art!
You want to pay for that!
I'll bring you back from death's
Here I
abyss!
come! Rising Falcon! Imbued is prepared to be seized! You're mine! No further! No escape!
I've still got some fight left in me! Lunar corruption!
Take this!
Lunar blast!
Benediction light! Strike! Wind heal!
Lightning orb!
Here I come!
Water! Hear my call! Cascade! Spread!
Lunar rumble!
Here's the evil!
Rising Falcon! Take this! Strike! Regeneration! Strike! Regenerate!
Thank you for the healing, Doverine.
Comrades need our abilities to survive.
Damn right. No one's dying on our watch.
Rising Falcon! Catapult! Sword Rain Alphen!
I can't heal you forever!
Severing Wind! Victor! Lunar
Freeze
rumble!
Lancer! Dancing the wind! In here!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Beckon into
I'll heal you all!
darkness.
Ha! Easter! Negative gate!
Healing the
You're mine!
water! Hear my save you! Lightning can never miss!
Bloody
Thunder blaze! Illuminate the dark! Not in your dreams! First aid! Oh, sparkling thunder rays! Rain down
No
and
further.
purify all!
Here I come!
Dance
in the wind! Reflect the light! Take this! They smite with blackened blade! Execution! You're mine! Strike!
Sleep now!
Take you! Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha! The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
It's in your head to do without this. Stay away from my friend! The flame inside me yearns! I can't move!
Into the shadow! Lightning condense! Thunder blast! Illuminate the dark! Come on, holy land! I'll bring you back from death. Denied! I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Now you see what I can do!
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Dance in the wind. Radiant healing. Searing flame. Reload. I'll heal you all. Whoa. Hey, healing light.
Now I can let
Bring
loose!
you back from death's abyss.
Wind! Thanks! Void Flash! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! You're mine!
Lunar corruption.
Black and blaze! Sword Rain Alpha! No escape!
By the power of water.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll bring you back from...
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.
really bad feeling about
I shall
this.
ensure you survive this.
I can't hold on much longer.
Sorry to come. Here I come. You do the same for me. Escape.
By the power of water.
Take this.
Here I come.
This is looking good.
Glacial spear. Piercing Don't leave me.
Resonate with the earth. No further.
Resuscitation. There.
Not done yet. No dawn shall break this night.
Soaring
It's over.
Sleep now.
Rena Alpha.
More for the stockpile.
Take this. Take this. No escape.
No more playing nice.
Benediction light.
It's over. Here.
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends for, we can depend on
It's
one.
over.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Lunar Rondo.
In here. Now.
Darling. In an instant. Impact cross. We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Holy rain. Glacial spear. Piercing water.
Negative thrust. Soaring Alpha. Darling. In an instant. Impact cross.
Here, let me
Moving song. Burn in hell.
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your face. I'll try to be more careful.
Frozen.
Hammer!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Brace yourselves. This one's tough. Let's try harder. My turn. Take this. No further. No escape.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Raining slash. Wind. Here I come. On your knees. Rising falcon. Here I come. Wind. You're mine.
Here's a healing arc.
Here I come.
Shattering pieces! Attack them!
Elusive deity. Severing wind.
No dawn
You're mine. No escape. Lunar Rondo. Boys, this one's all coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno. You picked the wrong fight.
Outstanding form.
You're finished.
Take this!
Hear me.
Take this.
Feel.
No escape.
Glacial spear. Feel evil.
Soaring Alpha.
Will this help?
You're mine. Elusive deity. You're mine. Lunar Rondo.
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay?
Solidity of your
Yeah,
movement is
you
simply
too.
incredible.
Glacial
I'm not done. Try harder. Take this. Severing wind. This one's all mine. Shine. This one He's charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
I'll leave it
Thank
to
you
you!
for the healing, Beverly.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Rest. No one is dying on our watch.
Hey, one at a time.
Radiant Riders! Regeneration!
Allow me to help you. Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! Demon! My turn!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil. I never miss.
I'm nearly done for. Can't get out of this! It's
I'll heal
over!
you all. Get you all to
No!
Here's the
Kill
healer.
him here!
Don't leave me. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Holy land.
Can you take it?
Here's a healing arm.
I'm not done yet!
Anything in order is all mine.
Severing wind!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Severing wind!
Sleep now.
Soaring light spear!
Get on in there with him. I have nothing gets. Annihilation. Radiant pierce. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. Alphen, this ends now.
Consider yourself finished! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me!
Glacial spear.
I'm not done!
Fall. Revive her.
That buffing is driving you mad! Take this! Take this!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite! Onward! Here I come! Lewis, kiss! Air Sword Rain Alpha! Elusive deity! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Lewis, escape! Try to try harder! My turn! I'm not done!
Where are you going?
It's over!
Sleep now. Here,
I'm not done!
I know you are. Throbs in pain.
Strike! You're mine! No further! Severing wind! Lunar Rondo! This was all mine! Strike! Void blast! Here I come! Lunar Rondo! Void blast! Rising! Coming through! Ha! Smell! Scarlet Inferno!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen.
It's time to end this bout!
I'm right beside you.
We've turned the tables on.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back. Eagle Wing!
Now, Frozen
Hammer!
far beyond the darkest
Lunar Rondo! Sword Rain Alpha! Take this!
Bathed in
No
blood.
escape! Win! Take this! No escape!
healing
Rising Falcon!
Do it. Don't believe.
All
all yours, Kisara. Now! Run, deity! Force flash! Lunar Rondo! Eagle ray! Take this!
Glacial spear.
Here I come!
Freeze lancer.
Rising falcon! Burn! Ranging you apart! Save you!
Hear my call. I never miss.
Bloody hollow!
Now.
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
It's a